encouraged Prajapati Daksha's second group of sons by awakening their natural affinity for their brothers. He urged them to follow their older brothers if they were at all affectionate towards them. Family affection is very strong, And therefore Narada Muni followed this tactic of reminding them of their family relationship with the Haryashvas. Generally, the word Nigama refers to the Vedas, but here Nigama refers to the instructions contained in the Vedas. Srimad Bhagavatam says, Nigama kalpa taror kalitam palam. The Vedic instructions are like a tree of which Srimad Bhagavatam is the ripened fruit. Narada Muni is engaged in distributing this fruit, and therefore he instructed Vyasadeva to write this Mahapurana, Srimad Bhagavatam, for the benefit of ignorant human society. Anartupasham sakshat bhakti yugamadukshaja lukasya dhanato vidvam chakrasatatam samhitam. The material miseries of the living entity, which are superfluous to him, can be directly mitigated by the linking process of devotional service. But the mass of people do not know this, and therefore the learned Vyasadeva compiled this Vedic literature which is in relation to the supreme truth. People are suffering because of ignorance and are following a wrong path for happiness. This is called anartha. These material activities will never make them happy, and therefore Narada instructed Vyasadeva to record the instructions of Srimad Bhagavatam. Vyasadeva actually followed Narada, and he did this. Srimad Bhagavatam is the supreme instruction of the Vedas. Galitam Pralam, the ripened fruit of the Vedas, is Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prastaya, Uttara Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namani, Namaste Saraswati Om Guravan Pracharan Yavishi Shishnivadi Pashkati Vidatana. O sons of Daksha, please hear my words of instruction attentively. You are all very affectionate to your elder brothers, the Haryashvas, therefore you should follow their path. So as an expert preacher, Narada Muni is using the possibilities at hand to introduce the transcendental knowledge, and in this case it was actually the using the family connection that, which we saw sometimes demonstrated in quite few countries. The most south you go, you see it, starting somewhere with Italy and even in Middle Europe. Here we see it sometimes, but not much, because actually the family ties are not very strong, which is also an advantage. It's not so difficult to give them up, but still somewhere way deep below, they are very strong. The bloodline connection, somehow or other, even it really, rationally doesn't make much sense, but it's somehow deep-rooted there. More deep-rooted as we actually devotees sometimes would like to recognize. There's genetic similarity. There's no chance that we acquire a body so similar to our parents. It's so similar sometimes that in order to make your own, define your own existence, we have to revolt. It's called puberty. You just try to establish your own ground to stand on, because until then, the ground was always defined for you by others. You will be like that, and you are like that, and you are similar to him. Sometimes even they say to parents, oh, you remember me on the grandfather, on the grandmother, or grand-grandfather, or who knows what. You don't know these people anymore, they died. And you are supposed to be similar like them. For a young man or a woman, it doesn't make sense. What do they have to do with this graveyard? They all died. I am here now, the new being, with a new identity, and that's me. That's according to the false ego. But there will be patterns of behavior. It's unavoidable. Vedic culture is fully recognizing that. That's called Varnashram Dharma. You could be so sure in Varnashram Dharma because the children were produced in pure consciousness. Pure consciousness doesn't mean necessarily to transcendental consciousness. They were produced in the consciousness of the parents. So you could be almost sure that the son of the shoemaker is a shoemaker. Not just because he was externally educated to do so, but because he was inclined like that. Nowadays, we have even sons of skateboarders. I'm not joking. I just saw something like that. I don't know, I watch these things. I just came across a baby this big. He can hardly walk. the first thing it does, it goes on a skateboard and skateboard down the hill with the greatest perfection. As it goes down from the skateboard, with nappies, as it goes down from the skateboard, it goes, as soon as it gets on the skateboard, perfect balance, full speed down the hill. So, where's this coming from? He hardly saw it ever in this lifetime. But in the cars, it's, born with that skill. I remember in the 60s, 70s, there was the first man who actually stepped up, one of the famous known people in America, and supported devotees in Krishna consciousness, was a filmmaker called Bhagavad Gita. There are actually many people in Hollywood reading this, because it's full of these far-out stories and ideas. So he just was, in his spacious house in the summertime, taking a swim in a swimming pool, and he had this glass doors open from his bungalow, and and inside he was wondering who is playing this perfect New Orleans blues on the piano. He said, I had many records, but I don't have records of this. Who is this? So he came out of the swimming pool and went into the living room, and there was his 5-year-old son sitting on a piano going, He never played piano before. So that was a kind of such a shocking experience to him that he realized there must be something from before. Where is this coming from? So there are so many things implanted into our body which don't say much about the soul really. It's just a manifestation of the accumulated heritage of material desires which are lurking there and which will become on a certain point prominent when a certain opportunity arrives. So once again, the principle in Krishna consciousness is to regulate. There's this great word Prabhupada is using here. This is I can't remember the Socrates. He's writing. He is using this one word. Yeah. The material miseries of the living entity, which are superfluous to him, can be directly mitigated by the linking process of devotional service. He doesn't write here merging process. He writes linking. That word linking immediately defines two separate entities, or the process and the one who is linking up with. So linking means actually connecting. That means automatically, strictly spoken, that the one who is getting connected is always containing its personal individuality. It never merges even with the process. Even we know in Krishna consciousness that the process and Krishna and the Veda, it's all identical. The process is the same, of the same transcendental nature. So for those who are engaged in the process are already considered spiritual, because despite the fact that they didn't achieve the perfection, because they are already linked up with that. It's like you are connected to fire while you are already burning. How much burning, that's another thing. Maybe it's just warming up. Some people come to Krishna consciousness and they kind of warm themselves up and go again. But they are connected already to some degree. So it's never the same and one. This hilarious idea that we are all same and one, even on a spiritual platform, it's disastrous because it prevents the scientific understanding, it blocks the scientific understanding to understand the process, the linking process. Linking means, well, it can be linked much, linked less. There is degrees, there is varieties, there is stages of Krishna consciousness, there is different kind of devotees. It's all defined in the Shastra. If you read Nectar of Devotion, if you read Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's all defined. So it's very scientific. It's like, okay, the patient entered the hospital. That, according to Krishna's view, makes him already saintly. Saintly doesn't mean the ultimate saint. There are Kanishta saints, Madhyam saints, and Uttama saints. Already there we have division. They are saintly in one sense because they are linked up with the process. But one is warming up, one, with already some burning is there, and the third one is entirely, entered the fire. And not only entered the fire, but he's actually capable to disseminate the fire to others. Whoever comes to him gets warmed up, can be affiliated with the fire or catches fire completely too. So this is all the weeds, and our contribution is what kind of fuel are we really? If you stay with the analogy of the fire. Are we wet fuel, dry fuel, or what? That Krishna doesn't mix himself up. Some of us are so soaked and wet with material desires that we can just go and we feel something is happening, but it's lots of smoke. If you put a wet wood into a fire, it's lots of smoke. But simultaneously, if it stays there, it gets dried up and ultimately it's really burning. And some wood is already quite dry, so it's burning quite nicely, and some wood is so dry, just goes immediately. So there are differences on every level. Nobody is the same. And that's manifested in the material world as variety, which is basically the variety in the material world is defined in a variety of material desires. I have this desire, and I have that desire, you have this desire, we have this desire. He is flying, he is swimming, he is running. Even the bodies are shaped along the material desires. What do you want? I want to be something big, and I want to swim here in the ocean. Okay, and became a whale. That's all. You can be a big guy and swimming through the ocean majestically. No problem. There was even a recording of surfers once again, somewhere in Australia, just riding the waves proudly. And suddenly some bunch of dolphins got the idea, hey, this is a good idea, let's do it too. And they were just going very close to them. For them it was a joke. They were like, hey, what are they doing here? Because they were completely perfect natural surfers. It was so pathetic to see how this guy struggling, keep the balance on a board. And these dolphins were just next to them, just following like a shadow through the water, and looking up and going, hello, and then going back again and again surfing with the next wave, So, so you want to be a really good surfer, come on, there's already a perfect form for that. Why because you don't need any brain to be a surfer, you don't have to discuss Bhagavatam. It's not needed. You can be a dolphin, it's perfect. Everything is perfectly arranged, precisely, according to the level of material desire. So even in Krishna consciousness, it's another chance we find ourselves in a certain situations. It's another chance that we are actually encountering a certain association. This is all material desires are very subtle. Even Prahlad Maharaj is scared. He goes, please, if I would have some material desire, don't fulfill it. Because I don't know you which one, but when it comes up, it motivates you so strongly. It can completely sweep away the intelligence. It's like the brain is working. The mouth is working. There's a circle, and that's the heart, the desires. And the guy goes, yeah, you can keep on talking, I go this way. And we go, and then comes something really dangerous, and that's the intelligence. The intelligence joins the conspiracy in the service of the desire and defines the scheme and explanation how things should be, because they are. As I can see, they will be like this. And intelligence is the schemer. He is just, and the mind goes, oh, that's a good idea. Let's elaborate on that. And meanwhile, the senses all get redirected. Okay, and it's all issued from the heart. We have the story of the Mangataka, even in the stage of science, without even knowing, because of habituation, we start to follow a woman, just following the form. Didn't even ask, hello, what's your name? You just saw the form, just moving. And female body, in a certain age especially, it's perfectly designed for that. There's form, sound, smell, this is all, even the hair, even the color, it's all provoking, touch, smell, follow, Then comes the chakras of the eyes, which are the mirrors of the soul. for the mirrors of the lost. Siddhanta Maharaj used to always say, women have the power to finish you off with one look. You know, just, you know. Yeah, first comes the movement, and at a certain point when you are rightly targeted, comes the look. And that goes straight into the heart. It's amazing, shortcut. Surpassing the brain, surpassing the intelligence, surpassing whatever. It's called the love on the first look. That's what it is. And then, ooh! And it's there. You think, oh, what was that? And then the mind goes, oh, what was that? Remember, you know, mind is like an echoing thing. There was a sound. And then, you know, I can forget it. How can I meet him? Funny thing is, it's a complete image. It's an image. You don't know anything about that person. It's an image. I heard both ways, opposite it works the same way. How? I don't know. I'm a man, so I don't understand. How can somebody fall in love with a man? When I see a man, I just see a square box with a hair on the chest or hair in impossible places. You know, and when I see a man, I just see, how can somebody like this? And the more, you know, stout and more muscle men are there, the more stupid they look to me, you know. It's just an idiot, you know, yeah. But women go, ooh, mad. You know, while they worship pop stars and everything, it's unbelievable. Screaming teenagers in a stadium, worshipping Mr. Justin Bieber. You know, I had a very practical experience of that. I have a 15-year-old daughter. She was not in it for the Justin Bieber, she was for the screaming. It's unbelievable. It's like, you know, when you see the footage from the inside of the stadium, you know, iPhones, you know, it's like from another planet. You know, that cannot be here. Where are these people? I don't know how much fits in that big one in Copenhagen. I don't know, somebody knows. 45,000? Full. Even more. Must be 50 at least. 50 screaming teenage girls. You can't imagine the sound. There was no songs, nothing. And the guy came 3 hours too late. They were screaming for 3 hours before he even appeared. You know. And then he came. You know, the sound from that stadium. I mean, how could you think like this? And the only thing he said, well, hello, I see some nice girls here. He didn't say one thing. He just saw them screaming mass of, you know, of people. Now the man goes completely out of control. Because you go mad like this. You must go mad. You must think you are God. You can do any damn thing you want. So much money, so much worship, so much, you know, oh, you know. So the illusion is unbelievable how it's painted. But it is symptomatic. Grown-up people are not that much different. They just don't accumulate in such low numbers, and they don't scream that high. But the motivation is the same, you know. And the result of this is frustration, misery. So what? Where's Justin Bieber now? What? You know, what? You were just proud I was part of it. I was there screaming. The result was that there was 50,000 teenagers in the stadium, and there was, I would estimate, at least 3,000 cars standing around the stadium the whole night, with the parents in it, who were just sitting there, completely frustrated. It was getting cold, they were running the cars, you know. A huge parking lot, just spread out throughout the streets, and there's no place to park. 3,000 cars is a lot. And everyone was just, okay, where is this damn idiot Justin Bieber going to be finished? You know, they were waiting for the children to come out. So it's like frustration, instant, immediately, nothing. It's just a temporary tickling experience, and then finished. Then the poster goes out from the wall, as the paper is not up to date anymore. Finished, vanished. So this is a kind of experience we have life after life. It's the exciting of the bird waking up in the morning and going for the seeds, picking all the time, It's exciting. The bird thinks it's exciting to go out and pick. It's exciting of a worm which is working its way through an apple, Yeah, this is a big apple, let's go and make a hole in it and come on the other side. Whoa, wow, so much food! It's an excitement of an ant running back and forth, up and down the ant hill, organizing the ant hill society. Definitely. They are all Germans in the previous lifetime. Always organizing, structuring, very disciplined. It's Chinese videos are good, Chinese ants and German ants. And then, it's all, everybody is motivated. It's impossible not to be motivated. Even the one who is so afraid with the whole thing, he is motivated to merge, become nothing, and they are very motivated. So motivated sometimes they kill the very same body, which is a really daring thing to do, because there's always a natural preservation instinct there to save your body. When you cross that border and you want to really kill your body, well, you must be really frustrated, really frustrated. And then what? We know. Keep on rolling, keep on going. The Narayana is a very expert preacher. He is using, like Prabhupada used it in connection to parents. Parents came, basically most of them, in a mood to complain how Prabhupada stole their son as if they would own him. Especially in the hippie times, it was absurd, because most of the disciples Prabhupada initiated were